What is up, everyone, and welcome back to the Bullwinkle Blueprint. Hopefully you're all having an incredible day. Make sure you're subscribed and hit that follow button because look, the next few months in crypto are gonna be insane. And today's story, well, this one's wild. Whales. Whales aren't just buying XRP, they are swallowing trillions of it in a way we haven't seen since early accumulation phases of 2017 and 2020. Your price is calm, social media, it's quiet. But the ledger, it tells a complete...
This is why a lot of these whales and Bitcoin whales keep buying. They keep buying smaller amounts, especially on 2Bit, guys. If you want to join 2Bit, there's a free bonus in the link in the description below. Trade to our massive XRP rewards. Trading volume, 1 million gets you 90 free XRP. If that's something you're interested in, join the links below.
Completely different story. And once you see the pattern, you're going to understand exactly what's coming next, folks. Sit back, relax, let's jump into it and check this out. Let me blow it up for those of you looking at the screen. This is when the Vanguard got into crypto, right? This wasn't retail. I keep telling you it's not retail. It is institutions. Retail doesn't move the market anymore. This was institutional capital sitting on the sidelines waiting for a green light. And the moment that the second largest asset manager in the US, Vanguard, reversed its internal ETF ban, guess what? The dam broke. And here's the real story behind this tweet and this image. This wasn't a Bitcoin pump. This was an institutional unlock, and we're going to see a lot more of those.
So yeah, US open after Vanguard ETF ban lifted, and Vanguard immediately went big on crypto, which tells you that they are going to double down on it. They're doubling down on basically listing ETFs which generate volume. It's basically free money for them at this point. So this is something you guys should remember.
As the months go by, the second Vanguard stepped aside, trillions in managed retirement accounts finally had access to Bitcoin. And they rushed into the biggest, cleanest liquidity pool that they could find, BlackRock's IBIT. So why does it matter for XRP though? I got you. Because look, every single time that institutions get regulatory clarity of one asset, they immediately start.
So yeah, I feel like they will also list more than just XRP. XRP is the start for them. It makes a pretty clear path.
Searching for the next one. Bitcoin was phase one. It's your highway. ETH ETFs, that was phase two. And XRP, the only asset with a fully adjudicated non-security ruling, well, it's sitting perfectly positioned for phase three.
Yeah, phase 3 is what? Like, you got a lot of phases for XRP. Ripple closed off acquisition of G Treasury. It seems like they're buying a lot of companies. Like, they bought ton of companies. And I'm hoping, like, I think a lot of them will be profitable. I think they got a lot of investments. That's why they can buy them. Because people, you know...
Suddenly, practically overnight, everything flipped. Ripple buys G Treasury. Corporate clients worth 10 trillion immediately start asking about stablecoin integrations. Brad is openly saying clarity isn't just coming. It is already here. You know what institutions do when clarity hits, right? They accumulate before the crowd.
That's why we saw them buying for 1.87. Why would they buy it for $2, $3 if they already bought it all up for 0.5? They don't have to buy anymore because with an ETF you need to hold something. They don't need to hold anything. And you can see my positions over here. Did I get stop lossed again? No. I didn't even open an order. I'm just waiting for a good entry. It's just going sideways today. The whole market is sideways. It's absolutely terrible what's happening. So it is very sad. You know, a lot of these institutions are going to be the ones that are going to profit most from XRP. That's what's happening right now, is they are making way more than the average holder.
Crowd realizes what happens. I tell you all the time, institutions front run these markets. This is exactly what we're seeing with XRP right now. Listen up.
I think one of the things that Binance has done incredibly well, the numbers that Richard's talking about, 300 million people, they're bringing people into crypto. We all want, there's an echo chamber that we all experience of people in crypto. But the amazing thing about the passionate pioneers that are here in this room is they've been in. We just want that audience to grow. And I think what you're seeing happen in the United States with regulatory clarity, Richard earlier referenced the Genius Act. The Genius Act is regulatory clarity for stablecoins. And you're already seeing more institutional interest in stablecoin payments. Ripple purchased a company called G Treasury recently, which has visibility into over $10 trillion of payments from their corporate customers. And the number of those customers who are already, the acquisition closed Monday. The number of those customers that are already approaching us interested in leveraging stablecoins for the flexibility, for better yield, for as a trusted resource is, because of that clarity, people are leaning in. We don't yet have, obviously Ripple went through a long lawsuit with the US government, and XRP received regulatory clarity from the federal courts. We have been championing, and I know Team Solana has been championing regulatory clarity for crypto broadly.
This is the thing. A lot of these companies, they want to push through with regulatory clarity for this simple reason, because if they do, they could get the ETF listings, which would mean that it would sell like hotcakes at this point. So yeah, that would be amazing if that happens.
And what is generally called the Clarity Act in the United States, there's still forward momentum on that. I don't think it's going to happen this year, which the President Trump has kind of championed. But I think sometime in the first half of next year, we'll see passage of legislation, which will continue to unlock.
Look, I want to make it very clear. Brad, he knows what's going on behind the scenes, everyone. He's involved in these conversations.
He's talking to a lot of politicians. He's talking a lot in politics. So he knows. He knows when he says something, he shares it.
Seeing right now with XRP is exactly what we've seen with Bitcoin and ETH. They are quietly accumulating behind the scenes. Let's do a quick market check here. Bitcoin, 92,918. It's currently down 0.09%. ETH coming in at 3,174. It's currently up 2.95%. And XRP, yeah.
So yeah, you can see here that my chart is saying that we're slightly shortish on this technical indicator. So let us check over here. I think I'm going to open a small short for XRP, guys. So a very important factor is always take a stop loss. But yeah, it does seem like that mega whales are accumulating XRP, but they already accumulated before. Why would they buy again? Like, it doesn't make any sense to them. They already have XRP. They're holding it now.
Buddy, it's coming in at $2.14. It is down 1.47% as your total cryptocurrency market cap is at 3.17 trillion. Now, we touched on this in the first video, but I want to touch on it again because this is absolutely massive. This right here, what you were looking at, XRP ledger velocity. This is telling us that there's real usage here. This is telling us that large players are accumulating. Let me blow this up for you. What you were looking at is real usage, not speculation. This is the part that everyone is underestimating. Velocity is the tell. Velocity is the heartbeat of the XRP ledger. When velocity spikes while your price stays flat, that means one thing. Accumulation by large players who are preparing for something.
Yeah. So velocity basically means what? It could also mean that a lot of whales are buying while other retail is selling. This could also mean that, right?
This happened back in 2020.
So we're going to open, again, if you want, join in the link in the description below, but we're going to open a small short. Like $2 is completely fine. Light perpetuals. GTC. Good till canceled. We can just open futures, light perpetual, XRP.
Everyone. And everyone slept on it. And they didn't understand what was going on. And they were confused. Right before XRP exploded from 20 cents to nearly $2. That is a 10x move. History, it sure isn't repeating, right? History doesn't repeat itself, right? But it's rhyming.
So yeah, I opened a short.
And it's rhyming with bigger numbers and bigger players.
I open what, $62 short?
I don't know if you noticed, but these ETFs by these 4 companies, Bitwise, Canary, Grayscale, and Franklin Templeton, they are outperforming every single ETF that is out there. They are breaking all expectations. No one expected them to do as well as they are. We are averaging $43 million per day, which is around 23-ish million XRP being sucked up Monday through Friday like clockwork.
Yeah.
That's not retail.
So that's not retail, but again, maybe it's being bought up by ETFs that haven't bought up before. That could also be a possibility.
Money. That is institutional money coming in. These are whales stacking. What do you think happens when we get another 3 ETFs from 21 shares? Wisdom Tree.
I mean, this would be smaller type of ETF shares, but they do help.
And if CoinShares comes back to the table, we have 7 ETFs now. And we go from 43, an average of 43 million per day to 63 million or even a 50 million. That is just more XRP being sucked up. If it's 20 million a
Look, even as I open the trade on 2bit, link description below, I'm up 2.25%.
day, that's 100 million a month. That's 400 million a month. Times that by 3, that's 1.2 billion. Folks, XRP gone in 3 months.
Yeah, but you forgot who the people who are selling, right? So there's also people who are selling at this point.
It's gonna get crazy, and that's what the XRP ledger velocity chart is explaining to you. And talking about that, over on xrprightnow.com, where you should be getting all your news from, we got a Japanese public company. They're called Alt Plus. They officially announced that they are adding XRP to its corporate treasury. That's right. This is your first shot in a new global trend. Corporate treasuries are starting to diversify.
So yeah, I just closed with a profit because I started shorting XRP. I don't even use price charts anymore because I know I can see here what the whales do. When you see what the whales want to do, then it's 10 times easier.
Out of per cash and into a programmable liquid digital asset. Look, Bitcoin started the playbook. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But XRP is the first asset that actually fits the need of a corporate treasury. Speed, settlement, liquidity routes, and cross-border utility. This isn't a meme buy. This isn't a marketing stunt, everyone. This is a regulated, listed Japanese corporation making XRP a formal, long-term balance sheet asset. Japan leads every tech adoption. Every time they move first, your other Asian markets follow. This is a very big deal. And then we jump over to this. ETF clients buy over 50 million worth of XRP, bringing the total ETF held net assets at $906 million.
That's pretty big. I'm worried though if the whale starts selling. This is what I've been saying for 3 months. This is what I said at 3.66. I was very worried if whale starts selling, and this is why I've been looking and starting trading on 2bit, because on 2bit you can learn these rewards and learn how to trade like me. I'll leave it in the link description below. But you get a pretty clear idea. If the whale starts selling, we are absolutely destroyed. So it is a very